connections build clients, right?
Yeah.
So the more connections you build, the more clients you're going to get. And if they think, hey, I'm looking for a media guy. Oh, the guy who shot for free. I'm just thinking about him. He did a pretty good video. Why don't I recommend him, right?
Exactly, man.
And then
Exactly.
you're the first person that pops into their head. And I
Yeah.
think it is very important to do that free work. You have to do the free work in order to build a portfolio, to build a name for yourself. And I don't think there's any way around that.
Welcome back to the Corner Talks podcast. I have my good friend here.
How's it going, man? Happy to be back.
No, it shouldn't be about anything. Like, this is one life.
Yep, one life? Like, fucking do it.
My guy.
Like, she just got it. She totally understood it.
20 years old when I started just watching a lot of movies.
And it tells a story. I want to tell a story.
Have a friend, creative director, Owen Quayle. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
How's it going? Thank you for having me on. Like, I really appreciate it. Like, I've never done a podcast before, so this is really cool to me and it's new and exciting. So
no, it's my pleasure, man. This is exactly what I envision, right? Is to have creatives like ourselves, share their journeys, have a great conversation, whether it's catching up or just unfolding on, certain projects that are on the rise. Just create a safe space and a community, if you will. And I should mention Tyler Seller is a mutual friend of ours. Thank you so much to him for connecting us. You're in Toronto, right? You're from Toronto?
Yeah, just outside. So like Oshawa area.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I'm from the Vaughan area specifically, but
Okay.
I was born in Toronto, born in the city, and then I grew up in Vaughan. But nevertheless, we share, a mutual location, right? Like we're very close to one another. So
Yeah.
It's always exciting to know like creatives like ourselves are in the same area, man. But thanks for coming on. How are things with you? How's everything going creatively?
Not bad. Like it has been it's been a weird journey recently. Like
Really?
It's yeah.
Why is that?
I came on initially about 2 years ago, and it was like I was a photographer, so I was taking photos, and then I kind of just so I'll get more in depth into this later on, but
Yeah.
I joined BTN, and then I was 17 years old, and I was just like creating ads for giveaway cars, and I just kind of got like thrown into it, and it was like a really cool experience. And more so with like the business stuff recently, trying to stay creative and like make content has been a bit of a challenge with everything going on with the business, but we still try to devote some time to making content, and we go on trips as well. So that's where we make content as well. So we have YouTube. So we do YouTube videos as well. And we've gone on trips. You can check it out. So
sure.
We've done trips like Tennessee. We've gone to like Halifax. I went skydiving in a video. It was cool.
That's wild. Well, yeah, one thing's for certain, it's a grind. And I love that you were honest and transparent about it, because looking at your Instagram, I would not figure that you guys were struggling creatively or, just finding the time to kind of discover a new kind of avenues. Nevertheless, I just never thought it would be something that you go through, but it's the reality, right? And I'm so happy that you shared that, because a lot of creatives, especially listening to this podcast, always wonder, right? We always think, especially with social media, is the grass greener on the other side? Is that person really doing better than I am?
Yeah, we always look at Instagram, and that's why they've done studies where it's like you're more likely to have signs of depression if you wake up and immediately go on your phone and start scrolling, because all you're going to see is people being successful, people making more 100%. Money than you, people getting more followers than you.
Yeah.
And then you're going to feel like, has everything I've done like not matter, or like does it not it's just not as well done as they have done it, and you kind of beat yourself up for it. And Instagram and social media now is just basically a highlight reel, but they don't see like all the time you spend grinding, all the sleepless nights, like all the time you really spent there with your head down working hard, and then you get to post like the fun stuff from like the trips, or you made a bunch of sales, but how hard did you work for those sales?
Exactly.
Right?
No, that's well said, man, because I can relate to that. Like you just see, you don't really see like exactly the progress that goes into it, right? You just kind of see the post. So to judge your whole journey on someone else's social media page is ludicrous, right?
Mm.
But yeah, a very good point. And, you know, speaking of the fact of like social media, you know, seeing your account and just noticing how much you've developed quite a name for yourself in the media industry. Again, as a creative director, you have a very lavish portfolio and a very stylistic presentation. That's what caught my eye. So I really enjoyed that. And again, you brought this up. You said you were joining BTN at 17 years old, and now you're 19 years old. And that's another thing that was astounding to me. And Tyler, again, he's, I believe, a year older than you. Like, you guys are all very, very young. Like, when I was your age, I thought I was old. And I'm 28 now. And it's like, I know I'm still relatively young, but you just realize like, wow, like you guys are kids, but you're not, you know, like just how much you've done so far in your journey. Right. So I wanted to know, like, how long have you been pursuing this craft that you're achieving such high success at a young age?
Yeah, I first want to say, like, there's such a big fascination, or like everyone wants to have it now, everyone wants to get it now.
Yeah.
And like they feel like, oh, if I don't get anything done in the next few months, or like even the small little victories don't feel as good in those like times where you're sitting there alone and you're like, why is my life not like theirs? Like relating back to
100%.
the highlight reel of life.
100%. Yeah.
But I got into photography about 3 years ago, I want to say. So I went to a family friend's cottage for Christmas. Both of our families went together, and my best friend's sister had a camera. So I was looking at it and she was taking photos, and I asked if I could use it. So I'm going around the cottage taking photos of like the lake, or like the porch, or or like a chair in the gazebo, or like even just my buddy.
Right.
And within like 3 hours, I think I had an Amazon order for a Canon T7 like on the way to my house.
Oh my
like
God, that's wild.
I totally impulse bought that. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, like I'm super ADHD. So like
Yeah,
I like
same.
I like hyper fixate on things. So like I got big into scooters when I was younger. So I picked up a brand new scooter after like learning about like Dakota Schutz or like Ryan Williams, like all these Nitro Circus guys and whatever. And then I was researching parts, trying to go to every single skate park. There were like meet and greets. I'd want to go to those. I was like,
there's different hobbies you're saying,
and
different
like,
hobbies and events you were exploring. Yeah, nice.
And as well as like roller coasters, I like dove into roller coasters. So you're from Vaughan, so Canada's Wonderland. I have
100%.
YouTube videos of me when I was 8 years old, like on Leviathan.
Thrill seeker, eh?
Yeah.
I have a phobia. Like I still go on, but like I don't seek it as much as like someone like yourself, like that feeling in your stomach. But everyone's different, right? For that reason, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so then when I got the camera, I was just taking photos here and there, and I wanted to pick up a Genesis Coupe, which was a Hyundai.
Mm-hmm.
And I went for the more affordable option because I'm like, oh, I'm going to spend way too much gas. So I got an Elantra, and then it had a couple mods done to it. So I started taking photos of the car, and I'm like, well, this is really fun. So then I was living in Cobourg at this time. My parents are living in Cobourg. I don't know if you know where that is. It's about
no, I actually don't.
It's about 2 hours east of Toronto.
Okay, wow. Okay, great.
It's towards Kingston, yeah. So
okay, Kingston, yeah, I know. So that roughly around that area. Nice.
Yeah, I was taking photos of cars. And then I started going to car meets because I started hearing about them on my phone.
Right.
And like on Instagram, they started posting car meets. So then I started going to car meets and taking photos and walking around with the camera. And I found Dave. He was driving his Evo. So the third giveaway car was Dave's personal car that he built over like 4 or 5 years.
Right.
So I saw him driving, and I'm like, oh, that's BTN Dave. Like that's the Evo. They had about 10.
He already established like this brand.
BTN was already established.
Wow,
it was about 3 months in. So on like the third month of the business being open, like the giveaway cars started. I know I'm going all over the place here, but the giveaway cars started.
Yeah.
Within like the first day the business was actually live on the website. So that was December 4th, 2020.
Well, yeah, to mention to the audience, no, sorry, I just want to interject. Like, BTN of course. Is Boost the North, this clothing brand, correct? Owen keeps referring to, which we'll discuss more into. But yeah, please continue your story. Like, this is awesome.
So, and then I hit him up. I DM'd him. on the BTN account, they had about 8,000 followers at that point.
Yeah.
And we're up to about 40,000 now.
Yeah. I saw that.
They're about like 8K. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I shoot that Evo one time? That thing is so clean. There was a full Vars carbon wide body kit on it. It was on bags, full trunk setup, like
Right.
custom speakers all through it. Very, very well modded and tastefully modded.
Right.
I'd say there's about $90,000 into that car. It was beautiful.
That's insane.
And we actually
Don't
ended up
damage
giving
that,
it
right?
away. So he texted me back and he said, hey, I love your portfolio. Do you want to come out tomorrow to shoot? My media guy flaked on me. So my brother, I was telling my family, I'm like, this is big. Like I was actually a fanboy of BTN at that point.
Right.
I was 17 years old, like running around high school hallways, just like being a class clown. And
you were closely following this brand. Like,
yeah. And I
it's
was like genuinely interested in this brand. And they responded, they said, come out tomorrow. I was like super hyped about it. I'm telling my parents. And then my brother actually told me that, yeah, like he said, are you gonna really volunteer instead of make money tomorrow? Because I work tomorrow. And I told him yes. So I called my manager and I said, hey, I have a big opportunity tomorrow. Do you mind if I don't come in? I can pick up another shift. If not, like I don't want to leave you guys hanging, right? And she said, yeah, go for it. That sounds awesome. And yeah, I showed up. We shot all day. It was the first week of the second giveaway. So the second giveaway car launched. It was a full wide body BRZ with supercharger. It was very, very well done. So basically, for those who don't know, the sweepstakes is every $1 you spend on the website gets you entered to win. That was how the giveaways worked.
So sorry, this is to win a vehicle, you're saying?
Yeah, this was to win the car. So I joined BTN. The day I met Dave was when they launched the second giveaway.
Okay.
So the second giveaway car was a full BRZ, and every dollar you spend on the website gets you entered to win. So if you spend $100 on a hoodie, you get 100 entries.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's basically like that. So
so the merch is used for the sweepstakes, like
yes,
the promotions. Okay.
Yeah, and so you'd win the car, and you'd win $5,000 on top of that. Awesome. So I'm shooting the car. We're having a really fun day. Like this is like a vibe I've never even been around before. It's so cool. Like a bunch of just like genuinely cool people and like down to earth, very down to earth people.
Yeah, it's important.
So we're shooting. I'm like, we're at a car wash, and I only have my phone at this point. I have my camera, my Canon, but it doesn't shoot video very well. And I wanted to film a video, so I shot a video on my iPhone.
Right.
And I edited it in the parking lot. So I had shot and edited a video before we left the parking lot, and I showed Dave. And he said that was phenomenal. And by the end of the day, he actually offered me the job by the end of the day. So I guess that was like an interview.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to my parents about this. This is big. So yeah, I was very excited about this, and
that's awesome.
So I started working with BTN. I was driving down to Oshawa, which is about an hour drive, like as many days as I could. I was still in school, by the way.
Right.
And I actually ended up moving out of my parents' house before high school ended, and I moved in with Dave and Rosie. Rosie's another member of BTN.
That's awesome.
He actually went to pursue electrician, so he's an apprentice for electrician now. So I moved out of my parents' house at 17. It was like it was a big thing for me.
That's huge. And that's a huge step, man.
Yeah, so in the basement we had the merch. Main floor, it was just like the living quarters. We had a couch, right. And a desk, and we actually were streaming. So we had two monitors and then a big TV on the outside, where we'd like control the stream for Twitch. And we wanted to get into that, but we never fully ran into that.
Well, in time, but
yeah, in time, yeah, that'd be really cool.
So yeah, I just want to say like that's a wild story, and like just to see like how it all unfolded and how fast life can move sometimes, right? Like you're talking about that. It's like people don't realize the progress. Someone might look at your page and say, oh, how did he get that at 19? But it's like, this guy put in the work, I put in the hours, but more importantly, he also did it for free, right? He volunteered his services and he took a risk on himself. He betted on himself. That's something that I notice a pattern of creatives when I talk to them is like a lot of them, including myself, we started off, working for free. We did a lot of free work, and especially my parents are close people. Like, I'm Italian, come from an immigrant family. They can never understand, why would you work for free? Like, why would you volunteer your services?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like in the creative world, that's the only way you can provide context to what you can offer long term, right? That is something that Tyler and I were always talking about. It's like,
And at that,
yeah,
and you're not working for free. You're just investing in yourself at that point.
yeah, I like that actually better. Yeah, you're creating. Yeah, it's not
And
a monetary gain. Yeah,
and connections build clients, right?
yeah,
So the more connections you build, the more clients you're going to get. And if they think, hey, I'm looking for a media guy. Oh, the guy who shot for free. I'm just thinking about him. He did a pretty good video. Why don't I recommend him? Right.
exactly, man.
And
Exactly.
then you're the first person that pops into their head. And
Yeah.
I think it is very important to do that free work. You have to do the free work in order to build a portfolio, to build a name for yourself. And I don't think there's any way around that.
That's true, man. That's true. Well said. And like, very mature of you also, right? Like to say
Yeah.
that. And that's why you've been successful at such a young age. I want to know, getting back to like your family, and maybe
Yeah.
your close friends and things like that. Like, so making this big decision to move out of the house, live with this guy who runs a company. What was that all about? Were they supportive, or were they like, you better focus on school instead? How did it all like
They
transpire, man?
they were very surprised
Oh, okay.
because I did not give them very much notice.
Oh, wow.
I gave them like a 3-day notice. It was bad on my
That's
part. It was very
wild,
bad
man.
on my part.
Yeah.
I spent the day with them before I left, and I went back to visit all the time, and I actually ended up moving back into my parents later on. But they were very supportive of it. They've always been supportive of me.
Are you currently there, by the way? Like, are you currently?
No, I'm in a house with Dave.
Oh, okay.
So
So you
live
moved
together in
back,
a
then you
house.
moved back out.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And we actually run the business out of here. I can take you way back to like the beginning.
Yeah, well, I wanted to. Yeah, so like just to properly introduce, so Boost the North. Like I said, I just want to know like more about the fact. So it's a clothing brand, but it's an interesting way you guys are marketing it. You're saying that in order to win these cars, you have to buy the merch, and then you can enter these like vouchers like into winning a sweepstake or a getaway. I mean a prize, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd love to hear like more about it. Like, basically, we heard about how you got involved with it. Maybe I'm curious now, like with regards to like the conception and like the name behind it. Like, why Boost the North?
So Boost kind of ties into the community for like Boost culture is like turbo.
Got it.
So if your car's turboed, it's boosted, right?
Yeah.
And the North, and it was the big time around like the Raptors were huge. So like We the North was like a big saying.
100%. Yeah.
So Boost the North kind of flowed. I'm not the one to say how it happened and how it came to be. That's more Dave.
Right.
But that's what I know from what he's told me.
That's awesome.
And my parents were always supportive. They would never force me to do anything, but they would always guide me, and they would let me make my own decisions. They would let me make my own mistakes, but they were there to fall back on if I made the mistake, and they would try and help me learn from it.
That's great.
And as for my friends actually support hard. Like they all have BTN stuff,
especially with the generation, right? Like the generation's about that, cars. Like creativity and like social media. Like, so they see you doing your thing. It's like, don't put that guy down, right? Like, this guy's talented.
Yeah. And it's very different. You don't come across that every day, right?
No, you don't. No.
But awesome. With the giveaways, our last giveaway ended in April or May, and unfortunately we haven't been able to do giveaways recently because we've been giving away everything.
Yeah.
and that more so falls on us and our ability to market and to come out profitable. So we're gonna have to take the L on that one, but we'll bounce back and we'll come back from this, and we're steadily grinding on coming back, and we want to do giveaways. Like, we want to be able to get to the point where we're able to give away a car a month.
So would you say that would be the biggest challenge for the brand, is meeting those like requirements of like getting giveaways, getting incentivizing like customers to get involved with the brand, or are there bigger challenges?
Yeah, 100%. Like, the math was all there. The math was all correct.
Right.
but it really came down to the marketing. Like as I said, I was 17 years old making ads that were getting like $4,000, $5,000 a month ad spend. And like that was hard for me because like I had a lot of pressure on me and
Of
I've never
course.
made ads before. And
Yeah.
it was really cool that he believed in me and to do that. And
That's awesome. You guys had a trust.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, the biggest thing was definitely coming out profitable in our marketing strategy. And we've found that what works is just getting to know the people in the DMs, like literally just responding to people, having conversations with them. And like maybe we'll offer a little 10% discount for them. Like here's a little reward. Thank you so much for supporting us.
That's
And we
important in
found that
business.
works, like
Yeah.
the one-to-one contact instead of just straight ads, because we've had some like shaky returns on our ROAS as well.
Right. No, that's very important. Like that you seek out, like you look out for your customer, and you give them some sort of reward for engaging in your content, right? Or being also so loyal. You know, something for me, you know, sometimes with my hoodie, the 94 collection brand, that's part of the reason why I wanted to bring up Boost the North, you know, being a clothing brand, is I share like a mutual understanding for starting a clothing line business. Mine is not towards, you know, revolutionizing fashion or anything like that. You know, I love streetwear, but it's at this point in my career, it's just an extension of 94 Productions, you know, my filmmaking company. But nevertheless, it's a creative outlet. And just witnessing you guys, you know, market your product and engaging with your customers, and you know, providing those like stories about how you give rewards to those that that frequently engage, is very inspiring, right? And it's something that I should learn from myself. That's something that I'm trying to do as well with the hoodies. It's like, you know, people that I've developed a strong relationship with, work relationship, collaboration, whatever have you, use them as like tokens, you know, because people will remember that. And yeah, it'll go a long way, right? It's all about, like you said, connections and like establishing them.
Yeah, and with the clothing brand, like if we didn't want to be involved with our community, like how we're doing the one-to-one DMs, and we host car meets. If we didn't want to be involved in the community, we could have gone like third-party media companies that could have done ads for us, and we
You're
could
right.
have just like hid in the back and like watched it all happen from like
Prayed
third
for the
parties
best.
controlling it, right?
Yeah.
But we actually want to be a part of this community. That's why we travel to Halifax for a single day to go do a show, and we traveled to Manitoba for a single day. It was like 24 hours driving there. We stayed for one day, came back, and it was another 24 hours, right?
That's wild.
And we hosted car meets on like the regular, like once a week we'd host car meets, so it would bring everybody together. And I think what we want to do is, of course, with the giveaways, is to change people's lives for the better, right?
Right.
And if you look in the car scene, you'll find a lot of outcasts, like a lot of people who never really felt like they belonged, or they never really fit in at school, or maybe their teachers always kind of didn't like them, or kind of brushed them off.
Right.
And like if you go to the car community, you'll find that all these people like come together, and it's like a judgment-free environment. Everyone feels like they belong, and even if your car isn't top tier, it's still nice to get out in the community and have these conversations with people and like catch up with people. Like I have a story of Dave. So this guy, sorry, let me start from the beginning. This guy,
for sure.
Was coming up talking to Dave about the Evo, right? Because the Evo is like one of the nicest cars in the area. Like I would say the nicest car in the area.
Yeah.
For like modded cars. He was asking Dave all about his Evo, and Dave flipped the conversation on him and asked him about his car and what he's done to it. And he just had like I don't even know what it was. It was like a Dodge hatchback. And he said, "Hey, why don't you go park your car over here with me? Like park next to the Evo."
Right.
Or so it was the two Evos. So the first giveaway Evo, and then Dave's Evo, and then he got him to park with him. And he came back a few months later and said to Dave that he actually saved his life. Like he was going through one of the hardest times in his life, and just feeling like he was a part of something, and he felt like he belonged there. And when he parked his car away from the car meet, and Dave made him feel like he belonged, right?
Yeah,
And
no, that's amazing,
and
man. Yeah.
they've saved his life in that way, and that's really where we're passionate, and we want to change lives and help people out.
Well, yeah, that's a beautifully said. And honestly, like it transcends, um, you just being a clothing brand, right? Now you're impacting lives. Now you're changing lives, inspiring lives. That's part of the reason why I pursued filmmaking and started 94 Productions. It's not just, be a like create a source of income for myself, create a business. I don't like using that word. Like, yeah, it's a business, but I'm an artist at heart. I'm a creative at heart for a reason, first and foremost. The whole notion of this is when people see my work, they're inspired to follow their dreams or pursue their passions, or even just be inspired creatively to do something themselves. Like how many times as creatives do we see something that's really cool piece of content and we're like, yo, I could do that, or I want to do that, or this would be really cool with this, and it
All the
sparks
time.
sparks an imagination, right? And that's what I mean. We got to stick together and cultivate this network. That's awesome, man. It sounds like that was probably your one of your biggest successes. Something you already answered for me, but like I was going to ask you. So like it really sounds like successes are not always meeting sales targets for you guys. It's how well your community gives back, right? Or how much you give back to the community, I should say, the value it brings. And that kind of ties into what you were saying about working for free, right? It's like as true artists, as true creatives, we don't see it as working for free. We see it as investing in yourself or investing in others and creating a value between people. And that's exactly what Boost the North is doing. So really commendable. This is actually really exciting me because, I didn't know this. Looking at your Instagram page, you kind of just a quick glance. I mean, you see it, with the vehicles, you see all those cars. Again, it's very stylish, lavish, flashy, right? But you don't see the heart behind it. And it's meeting like people like yourself and like hearing like what actually goes into it, what's required, the grind, flying to Halifax, doing a 1-day trip. It's wild to me. So very, very well done, man. Very well done. I have to say though, because you keep bringing up cars, and this clearly is the identity of the brand. Why sports or racing vehicles, why are they so closely associated with your brand, and how you present it, how you market your clothing, especially with a lot of people your age, more into maybe music or media, film, photography? Why is it like racing cars, sports cars, things like that?
Yeah, like what I was saying with if you look in the car community, you'll find a lot of outcasts.
Okay.
It's not even necessarily about the cars. Like the cars are really cool and we share this passion, but it really comes down to personalities and like the people. And like we have members, and all these other brands, when they try to get members in to like rep the brands or like affiliates, they're looking for like the hardest car. It doesn't matter if the guy's a jerk, but for us, we really look at personality, and if their car isn't top tier, when we grow, they'll grow with us, and then they will grow with us in their personality as well. And if they're bringing all sorts of positivity to the table, then no doubt we're going to keep them around. And yeah, I'd say it's more so about the community more than the physical cars themselves.
So it's incidental. You're saying it happens to be about cars, really, like it's just a bonus. Like for you guys, it's really about the people and what they can offer, and
it's all about the people, and then it all ties together because we all share this passion for cars. And and I don't know what it is about cars, but I don't know, they're so cool.
They're so cool, man. They're so cool. And they make for great content, man. Like
yeah, they do.
The creative.
They really do.
I was telling Tyler this, right? Like just looking at your page, and we'll discuss it more like after this podcast, but you could do so much with it, to kind of really up the production value as well. You've seen it all the time in those music videos online, Six Buzz, things like that, aspiring rappers, and even the high profile ones, right? Like rapping in front of cars, or even in movies, the way the shots pull up, slap music on, put a track of music on that. You're golden, right?
People want to feel like.
Sorry, go ahead.
People want to feel like they can be a part of something, and even if they get like a car that's not even that nice, and they put some wheels on it, then they can go to the car meet, and then they can get involved, right? Just like that. It's very easy.
But you could argue like someone like yourself, right? This is where the creatives come in. This is what I kind of like always imagine is this is how I sell myself of cultivating another person's brand. They think their car is mediocre, or maybe they just, in their eyes, it's average. And then you come in with your shots, your style, your creative vision, and you show them a video and it's like, that's my car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they see it in a different light, you know, with the color correction, the angles, the music you choose.
The
I
camera
think that's
doesn't
very
pick up the
important.
scratches.
No, seriously. Yeah, no, like I really believe it. Like it's all about, you know, the editing and the presentation. And that's again why we're creative. Like it's to take reality and translate it to our imagination, right? So that's awesome, man. That's really cool. Because I'm a big fan of cars, and that's another reason why I was excited to talk to you. I've even had projects like that are associated, some even like centered around cars specifically, but we'll talk about that later. But going back to like social media, we've talked endlessly about how and hinted that it's proven to be an essential platform, you know, in promoting the brand and really connecting with a community, right? Like you said it time and again throughout this podcast. And we would have never, you and I connected, or maybe let alone, you know, viewed each other's portfolio if it wasn't for this technology. That's for sure. Maybe we'd bump it. Maybe if I visit Oshawa or you're in Toronto, maybe we bump into each other, but it would have been a while, right? It wouldn't have been as instantaneous. And I came across your TikTok and I noticed, you know, you've also like amassed an impressive following of 40,000. So I thought that was really cool. I want to know from yourself now, what is your strategy being on social media and building an audience and retaining engagement?
So TikTok, I've kind of neglected TikTok. I haven't really posted much recently. I should be. I really should be.
Yeah.
And I should get on myself for that more.
Gary V 4 times a day.
Yeah. I love when Nima does that. You making content?
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, on Instagram, like we always try to post a vibe, or we try to post a video with like a motivating sound, or and we try to post captions, like motivating captions, or men's mental health stuff. We post stuff like that, and we always try to make someone feel a certain way. That's how we keep the engagement, how we keep people involved in the brand, is that we always try to make them feel something through the videos. And we work hard on our designs. We work very hard on our designs, and we work hard on getting out in the community. Like we, at one point this summer, we did about, I want to say like 8 shows in like 2.5 weeks, or like 3 weeks. Wow. So we were like really traveling around, getting out in the community, and all the real money is online. So if we just wanted money, we wouldn't even go out there. But again, this all ties back to being a part of the community, and we want to be there. And that all could be avoided if we were just there for the money, but it's not about that.
Yeah, I'm so happy you said that, because like people, that's what makes us dangerous in a way. If you think about it, like we can't be bought, because I will like, you know, fight to get my content out and give back the money if I have to. Like, I just don't like care. Like, it's like my like you said, back to investing in yourself, that time, people think it's for free. No, that's my time. That's what I invested. And that's also valuable, right? So it's like, you take that away and you replace it with money, it's not the same. So I rather have the content, what I'm saying is, than the money, right? The credibility, because I want people to know that I made that. You know what I mean? That lasts longer than money. Money can be spent tomorrow. You know, you give me 1,000 for something, I'll spend it in a week, I promise you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you give me a credit and you see it on the internet, it stays forever. So that's how I view it. I'm glad you have the maturity, the foresight to see that as well for yourself, because that's imperative, right? As we build our brands. I want to know now from you, because we've been talking about like Boost the North a lot. We've been talking about this amazing association with the brand. But from you, man, like Owen Quayle, like, or I better known as Quay, I should say. That's something that I learned new today. Fun fact. You know, what sort of content do you aspire creating that best defines Owen Quay or Quayle?
I think I want to be a content creator, like almost like a YouTuber. And
okay, cool.
I think that would be really cool to have that platform and be able to give back to the community. And there's just something so attractive about the YouTube lifestyle, and being able to
it's very adventurous, right? You're always on the road.
Yeah,
You're always traveling.
Yeah, you're always doing something new.
It's never the same. And for someone like us, right? Because I've been told my
Yeah,
whole
thank
life I
you
have
for that.
ADHD, right?
Yeah.
But for someone like us, that's
mind moves a
amazing,
mile a
right?
minute.
Yeah, we just want to always be on the go. We can never sit still. Like if we're sitting still, it's because we're editing or we're focused on a project. But even that, I don't know about you, but like nothing towards the project, but you're already thinking about the next project while you're editing
Yeah.
the current project. Has that happened to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
or like I'll find myself, my mind is like totally somewhere else. I'm like, oh, I gotta get back into this edit.
Yeah,
like, this edit.
100%.
Like, what am I doing?
Especially with the phone, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm thinking about a different. Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about a different project or how I want to film something else while I'm editing something. I'm like, what am I doing? I
Yeah,
gotta stay on task.
snap into
I have to
it.
constantly remind myself to stay on task. That's been a challenging one for me.
Especially in this day and age, man, with social media, it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
with
where
social
discipline
media,
comes
like your attention span is like nothing. If you can't get their attention like that, you've already lost them. Like if you don't have them within the first 1-2 seconds, like they're gone. They're gonna.
I was just
swipe.
gonna say it used to be 8 seconds. They did a study. Now it's like 3 or like
Yeah.
you said 1 to 2. Like and it works. Like I think of myself, like if nothing, I'm flipping through posts, like literally just scrolling. If it's not engaging, that's it. And that's a critique too on my own content, right? Like I posted something yesterday, I got like literally 4 likes, and I realized it's because I should have just cut the video where because my logo was in the front. And I think when you're scrolling, like you want to, it's like
it almost looks like an ad, and you don't want to see ads. Right?
Exactly, right? So it's like that's a learning lesson you have to you just have to grow from. And yeah, it's just a constant grind. That's what I've been saying at the beginning of this podcast, or you noted as well, right? It's just learning, adapting, and making changes that best kind of align with your brand, your vision. But that's really cool, man. Like I'm excited for you to start this YouTube channel. Have you started vlogging, like being a YouTuber?
Yeah. So we have a YouTube channel. It's Boost the North.
No, I'm saying for yourself as Owen.
Yeah, eventually.
Okay.
But we want to build this this group. We want to build a group of content creators.
Of course.
And when we build up the YouTube, then we want to start funding other YouTubers. So we'll provide them editors, filmers, and we'll take like a percentage of theirs, and then we'll get them involved in what we've got going on. Kind of like how Nelk has like Salim, and they got Steve.
Yeah.
They have their own channels now, and
well, it's like Logan Paul too, right? Like Impulsive, like Mike Malak, and oh my God, what's the other guy's name? George.
Yeah, George.
Like they have their own channels, and that's all they do, right? They vlog, but because they become their own celebrity because of that podcast, and also because I should say before that they were kind of like friends, but that's what it is, right? You create that foundation, create that community that eventually they'll be like, oh my God, Owen Quayle, that's sick. Like he's the guy that does the videos. Let's create a YouTube platform. That's smart, right? You'll drive more of a traffic than doing it now, where it's like, who's like, it's a harder grind, right? Because you have to like prove yourself. But if people get to know you through the brand of Boost the North, is that am I right about that? Is that the strategy?
Yeah. And a big thing, a hard one for me is devoting time to editing YouTube videos, because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to editing. Like 100%. I want to sit there, and if it's not exactly how I want it, I want to keep working at it. And like with this business, like you can't do that. You got to keep pumping out content.
Unfortunately, you can't. Yeah,
we can't wait.
No, and, whether it's the client, whether it's for ourselves, right? Like at the end of the day, we got to be consistent with putting stuff out, or else people are gonna like sleep on you and be like, "What's happened?" You know.
But when I edit YouTube videos, I usually put in at least 20 hours into each video. If you want to check it out, you can probably see.
I believe it.
All the work I put in.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. As you're speaking, like I'm gonna check out the website.
Even if you want to watch like an intro, just the intro to a video.
I'll know from like 5 seconds, like the first 5 seconds, like
within the first 5 seconds, you'll know it's pretty good. I'd say watch the Getting Arrested or
Getting Arrested. Yeah, it's sick. Did you guys hear the sound? Did you hear the sound?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, that was sick. Great song too.
And then Getting Arrested at the Biggest Car Show in America, that was a good one. I spent a long time on that. That was in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. So you can actually see the giveaway car got impounded.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
then-
like they took it from you and they oh my god. And you got it on footage too, eh?
Yeah, I filmed it all. And Dave's dog got picked up by a coyote the same day we gave away the BRZ. We bought an
That's
RV to
tragic.
tour the states. So we were gonna tour around all of the states. Destroyed a drift car, gave away a car, gave away another car.
That's wild,
Yeah.
man. No, I'm just looking at it.
Skydiving.
So is it like, so essentially it's like a behind the scene, like you're documenting the journey.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Okay, cool.
that all ties back into keeping the community together, right?
Yeah, keeping the community involved. That's so
And,
smart, buddy. Yeah. It's awesome. Well, yeah, this is really cool. Like BTN, Boost the North, you heard it here. Owen Quayle, like amazing that you've come such a long way, you know, in a short span, I should say. But for you, it was a grind, right? To prove yourself, to start working for free in the beginning.
Well, yeah, still at this point, like I wouldn't even say I'm anywhere yet. Like I still got a long way to go.
Of course. Yeah, we all do, right? We're all students of the game. We're all learning like how to become better individuals, better selves, I should say, you know, both personally and professionally. But like I'm just saying, as at your age, I remember like everyone's different. Everyone has a different journey for sure. Like,
of course, yeah, I am very.
I was
proud of
university. You know what I mean? Like my mind wasn't. I didn't have the connections or the network I did now. But what I'm saying is like, you know, as you know, a lot of 19-year-olds that are lost or like they don't maybe have a conviction on what they want to do or a trajectory. And you got yourself that's like, no, like I did this. Like at least you have something that you're working towards and going for. I think that's really respectable. So
thank you.
Really appreciate that. Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. Sharing your journey,
of course.
sharing your stories, man. That's sick.
I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've never done an interview or a podcast before, so this was a lot of fun. It was cool.
No, that's great, man. Well, I'm happy to make you feel comfortable. I'm happy that you were able to like share your story, and this was like your first time on the podcast. You know, looking forward to having you back in the future. Maybe you can update us on some projects and your see how far you've come. But yeah, do you have anything else to say before we leave?
I don't think so.
No, then we're good.
I think we got it all. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just throw it out there just in case. No, but we're good. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming on. Thanks again, Owen Quayle. Thank you, Bennett. Thank you again, everybody, for listening, and we'll talk soon.